there was a, you could say, fine evolution, where everything was in a state of transparency. Later it condensed. And we are already on the arch back to the source, and so all forms are again not anymore so dense. They become finer. They become more sensitive, transparent, like shadows almost. It will be that way. It will be that way. So we can say that there is a link in us with that unspeakable, unthinkable. But thinking leads to it. And then, like a raft, or like a boat, like a ship, you, so to speak, leave it when you have reached the other shore, but you don't take it on your shoulders with you. No, you don't need it anymore. This is the teaching. That will lead you, this path to God will lead you to true immortality, which in fact you are. So if you are it, why are you here? Because you didn't know. Ignorance. Jesus said, the truth shall set you free, and right he was. And this is the truth. Now, many people say, and preachers and so forth, oh, I have the only truth. There is only one truth. That is true. But what those people don't know is there is only one truth. But it has many facets. And you see, these many facets are the religions of today, into which this truth split. And so the time has come, dear friends, to unite all religions, all sciences, all philosophies under that one truth, now reawakened in the book of light. Now this link to the unspeakable, to the unthinkable, yet it exists. How is it? Find it out for yourself. Detach yourself in meditation from everything that you are aware of. Of what are you aware? Of the body. You only need the body to become immortal. Not immortal in the body, but to attain immortal awareness. Because you compare, you can see what arises and passes away cannot be you, otherwise you wouldn't experience the arising and passing away. I mean, it's so simple that a simple shepherd became enlightened, the teachings of the Buddha, like this. Oh, the Buddha didn't mean that there is no self. He just said, whatever you are aware of cannot be you, because there's you and that which you are aware of. Now, if you want to be that you have to detach meditation from this non-you, from this not you, from this not self, and this is anatta. And confused Buddhists, led by the Dalai Lama and other confused people, they thought the Buddha taught there is no self, there is no being. Well, if there is no being, there is no liberation from what? If there is no being, there is only one life. You may live it as you want. You see the crime done to the teaching of the Buddha by people like the Dalai Lama, who taught that teaching that the Buddha said there is no self. This is rape. This is rape of the teaching of the Buddha. But you see, I don't want to become too emotional, because when you speak about truth, it's better to be neutral. It's better to be calm. So let's calm down. Let's relax and see what's happening. What are you? Who are you? We have in Sanskrit the term Atman, which means the spirit. Now, we call it, in the Book of Light, the monad, the being, the Tathagata also. We will come to that. Obviously, it's not the body. Otherwise, you would know of everything that's in the body. If you are the body, you would know how the liver works, you would know how the heart works, you would all this without even one thought to it. Because if you are something, you are that something. And so, of course, you have a body. And because we have schools and universities to, study what that body is, what it does, we find out that this body does things on its own. Or do you tell the heart to beat, the lungs to breathe, the blood to circulate? No, you don't. They do it on their own. They have their own law. And especially in meditation, you will see, when you meditate, you observe your breath, you will discover that you're not even breathing yourself. It breathes you. Think about that. We are talking here about a detachment process, dear friends. So, every question about purpose and origin of man and universe will be answered here on the path to God. Now, this self, called in Sanskrit Atman, comes from somewhere, from the core, from beyond Atman. Beyond Atman is Paramatman. Param Atman with an M in between, like a link, Paramatman. That is, this part is timeless, eternal. When I say it is timeless, it is a timeless core that has no beginning and no end. This is true timelessness, not something that has a beginning and no end. Such a thing does not exist. As much as surgeons would like to, or people who inject Botox in their faces and their bodies to keep it eternal or whatever. Such a thing does not exist. What arises must pass away. There is no exception from that law. You would not even be aware of the arising and passing away if you would be that which arises and passes away. It would be normal to you. When the time comes, you would say, sorry, I just have to die. Bye. No, people are afraid to die. Everybody is afraid to die. Why? Because everybody, or almost everybody, identifies himself with that which dies, which changes form. Now, dear friends, here becomes highly philosophical and scientific. Mula Prakriti is root matter, per se non-atomic. When the beings awake again, they touch, you could say, they fructify or they impregnate root matter. And structures appear. Root matter is formed in atoms and so forth. So you see, this is where we all come from, and where we are going to is the core of everything. And this core, dear friends, sought by the scientists somewhere in the universe out there. Well, they can spend billions and trillions of dollars as long as we pay them, let them do it. They will never find it anywhere out there. They will never find a core. The core is in us. The common core of the universe is in each being. You experience it at meditation. You can fly with your rockets out there in the universe and can spend trillions of dollars. You will always be the same distance to the core than before. Basically. But when you sit down, when you see a holy man meditating, he is in the core where the Big Bang started. A so-called Big Bang, which is the awakening of all beings, which is interaction of all beings with root matter. This is how the forms are born, because it is a consciousness. So consciousness gives you the idea of matter, but in truth it is just different vibrations. So if vibrations are similar, then you have the feeling, oh, this is a table. So what is with an X-ray? To him that's nothing. Go through it like nothing, or through a human body. Because there are gaps between the atoms and between the particles. So for an X-ray, he just sees you as made of gaps. So it's all relative. It's all a state of consciousness. Now this is the you could say the first column of the Book of Light that there is a core, and that there is all beings, and that there is root matter. These three are basically uncreated. See, what religious people claim of their God. So you ask them, who created your God? No one. He was always there. Good. Book of Light teaches everything is always there, was never created, and changes form according to state of desire. And then there is an arising and passing away. So all the vehicles that we are surrounded with are taken constantly from us. And because we identify with those vehicles, we have fear of death. And the Book of Light, this path to God, takes from you the fear of death. This is the Book of Light. And also, divine message from the true God, Nirvana. In German and English in one little book. Now, by true God I say no creator. And we will find out what a creator is. And we will see that there can be peace between evolutionists and creationists.